fissures, which aren't too good.
Hmm. And did you mention the
for
Shadow Demon? I don't
battle.
think you did. Did you?
I mentioned them sort of
Okay.
briefly.
Briefly, well, it's a very strange pickup. I mean, who are you going to run mid? I mean, there's a very, 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 very old strategy, like you said, run your Alchemist mid. Maybe even put the Naga Siren in mid, she can pick it up. Venometa, if is also a long shot,
Yeah.
but it looks like next will be your mid player. This is freaking. I think next is their mid player.
I don't know. It's I guess, but it's really strange. It's really weird. I don't understand it. Um, against the Death Prophet.
We don't have to understand it. We just have to watch and witness as greatness unfolds.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, see, the
That'll
thing
be
is,
interesting.
yeah, this Death Prophet's not gonna get shut down from that, and once Death Prophet has her level 6, she can put the aggression on the towers and whatnot. I feel like I don't know. It seems weird. I quite like the Death Prophet pick. She's got the silence as well, which helps against the Shadow Demon there. Helps against the Alchemist because you can silence him, so therefore he stuns himself. Stuff like that. And I think she'll be fine against the Shadow Demon. I don't know what the Shadow Demon was really for in terms of mid. I don't think you can go toe to toe with the Death Prophet personally.
Neither, but I think we might be seeing a Shadow Demon with a Dagon. Under 10-minute Dagon with a Shadow Demon with a Soul Capture that does 50% extra damage. What's that going to do? I think that's 400 damage from your Dagon, and then pop Soul Capture 400 damage. That's an additional 200 damage on top of that. That's 600 damage from a Dagon at level 1. Yeah, that could be a little bit scary personally. And if you also throw the Purge, I believe that also does damage as well. Yeah, it does 200 damage. Jeez.
My issue with that is I feel like the lineup from Sleeping Genesis, especially with something like a Visage, you'd want to roam into mid. Earthshaker as well. You can leave that Weaver by herself for a little while if she just plays it safe. Obviously, you don't want to leave it by herself too early because you want her to get some last hits and some farm. Um, and then yeah, you rotate into mid and you can get easy kills on the Shadow Demon. You'll never get that Dagon.
But he has been pulled, so we'll be picking up that ball to try and throw out as much harassment as possible. We have a little bit of lag, unfortunately, on the server. Hopefully, just clearing up, or either on the server or on Cronus' end.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a small hiccup and everything will be okay to go in just a few moments.
So we just wait a little bit. What do you think of the laning? Going for a 2-on-2 laning start on Sleeping Genesis.
I don't like this, honestly. Especially since they found this Clinks in top by himself, I feel like Sen on the Visage should just roam out immediately. They can't lock him down, in my opinion. Timbersaw can handle him by himself, and Timbersaw can even probably get a lucky kill on the Clinks. I don't think Clinks can kill off a Timbersaw, unless Timbersaw's being really silly and not paying attention. So I think this Visage should move down into bottom.
Oh,
They might even be able to
remember
get
to
a
throw
kill
your
here in
overlay.
bottom.
Your overlay's stuck.
Oh man.
The earth thanks you.
See, this is why, yeah, it's fixed now. Sorry, it's gonna be a 2-minute delay, obviously, but
No first
yeah,
blood,
it's
luckily.
yeah. This Timbersaw should be fine against Clinks, unless if he's not paying attention. And a Visage might even be able to help get a kill with the Weaver and Earthshaker on bottom, potentially.
And I agree with you there, because I mean, they don't have a killing potential against Clanks with these 3 heroes, and your Weaver's going to be scared enough as it is. You got a Venomancer, you got a Nagasar, and an Alchemist. Alchemist has got Sentry Wards on him. I think they're going to carry Naga. By the looks of it, she's picked up Boots first. She's got Boots on her, and Naga's going, and Alchemist is going for the Acid Spray and Clock Tower combination. So, looks like we might be seeing a carry Naga come out from Markyi. We got a mid Shadow Demon. This is strange.
It is actually going to be a carry Naga. Basically, the moment Alchemist skills at level 2 skills Acid Spray and Unstable Concoction, he's a support. There's nothing else he can be going. and cheese on the Naga Siren. Carry Naga is something that hasn't been seen in a long time, and there was a Southeast Asian team in one of the finals who tried to use it a little while ago, and it didn't work out too well for them. But we'll see if Markyi Stack can do it effectively. I used to do this in pubs, but that's a whole different story. Um,
I think
it
we've all
can be
been there
powerful,
once upon a
but you,
time.
yeah.
We got a stun being channeled down
In
bottom
fact,
with the
it looks
ensnare
like we're
coming out.
jumping
He's
Sentinel.
going to try and secure his way on out of there. We got a Naga Sign the carry on left on one side. The Gale. Can they get the auto attacks off? Cheese has to be very careful. Cheese, don't go any further, and he will run. And now Gorgonite is taking a lot of damage himself, and I think they took a lot more damage than what they should have underneath that tower. And Weaver, all it takes is a salve, and that's all it takes to get him back up to full.
Yeah, there was also a lot of mana expended there on the side of Markyi Stack for, a few Shikuchis and a Fijali. That was not worth it for them. But I gotta say, yeah, this carry Naga Siren, what it needs is a lot of farm very early, which is why they're sort of trying to put the aggression on. Because in fact, I don't like the fact that they're moving out here, leaving the Naga Siren alone. The moment Earthshaker and Weaver figure this out, they should jump on Jace immediately and get a kill.
And I think now with this pause, they might be able to think of it, and yeah, they're not happy that they just received a phone call. Important, so, but this should give time to Sleeping Genesis to either think they're either hiding in the jungle or that they're rotating somewhere, and you just have to try and decide. Would it be wise for Markyi to try and rotate out fast enough? Did you see any smoke or any kind of disappearing act from those two heroes? And was it obvious enough to be coming against them? I mean, you already see Death Prophet kind of walking away from the catapult. She's got her face against it, so it looks like she will be walking back to her side. They might suspect something is already up. But, I think this could be bad for Markyi if they don't get this kill, because those two heroes are going to move out on a lot of farm, and then, if possible, Vega and Sentinel could go on Cheese, but I really don't think they have too much of kill potential, because if Earthshaker looks like he's going to get aggressive, Cheese should be able to get on out of there without too much worry in the world.
Yep, and Cronus, he hasn't gone back far enough in my opinion. Here we go.
Here we go. There goes the disruption. There's the stun. Gale, and they will pick up first blood on the Venomancer. So that's one use that you can have for a Shadow Demon in mid lane. Set you up for your support Alchemist.
Yeah, in the meantime, they tried to jump on Cheese in the bottom lane, Sentinel and Vega, but they did not manage to pick him off, and a little bit unfortunate. I feel like Cronus should have been warned. If he should have moved out as soon as possible about the lacking supports, especially since Alchemist was slowly showing his face a lot in his bottom lane. As you can see, he's always in vision of creeps and stuff, and the moment he moved out of there, there should have been warnings.
Okay, I'm just going to have to throw this to you because I have no clue in the world. Shadow Demon, Medallion of Courage.
I don't understand. It makes no sense to me. The only thing I can see, and the only reason I can see him picking it up, why he picked it up, I should say, is because of this minus armor that the entire lineup has, and so he wants to boost that up a little bit more. I'm not sure why he popped it there, but yeah, you've got Naga Siren, you've got Alchemist, so giving a little bit of extra minus armor there with the medallion is the only reason I can see him picking it up.
I'm still confused because I mean, sure that does work wonders, but couldn't you have got that on someone else? Maybe your Alchemist, who's your traditional support at the moment, where support usually pick this up.
Yeah.
Maybe on your Venomancer, who's now got boots and he can start working towards as well. But I don't know, I find that really strange and not going for something bigger on your OD, who's getting not your OD. Oh, there is a kill going on, and he managed to find himself a kill on Death Prophet. Wow, that's intriguing.
Apparently that's where it's useful.
I can't believe that. I mean, he's got Disruption at level 2, he's got Soul Catcher, so he takes additional damage. So the Illusions plus the Medallion of Courage on top of a Purge, that's what's killing him. And Death Prophet can't deal with that, apparently. I mean, wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, the Prophet has a silence, it's a 3-second duration. It should be enough to at the very least help her escape. But nonetheless, that's a nice kill there for Nix on the Shadow Demon. And now he's moving top lane.
Or a bottle come flying from somewhere. Went to Nagasaki, so she can do a little bit more damage. But yeah, next. He's rotating up to top lane under the cover of Vendetta. I mean, Invis. He's gonna come back down to mid lane. Gonna look once again, go on top of Cronus. Once again, come look at Cronus, but he doesn't have the mana. He's only got enough for a purge or a soul catcher and disruption. Not for all. And there's TP spot coming down bottom. We do see the Weaver. He goes down hard. He goes down fast. And now Nagasan's going to be on the run. It's a little bit of a grave chill come out, but they got no follow up to chase down Cheese. She's just going to bolt it up, wait to the next road spot, or start couriering it. And speaking of couriering, the courier is coming down, so she'll just throw it on that to get going. And Gorgonite, he's doing a little bit of harassment to Sen. They've got a ward down here, so they still can see him. And he's still throwing out those auto attacks. And Sen looked like he wanted to come back for more.
Very aggressive here from Markyi stack. And we sort of spoke about how they would probably do this. They've got that Clinks who they want to give him as much room as possible so you can get that Orchid up as quickly as possible. And once he has that Orchid, he can certainly help shut down a lot of these heroes. It means that the Weaver will probably have to go for a Lincoln's first, which is, obviously very defensive. Does give her a little bit of damage, a little bit of stats, but the Desolator first is obviously much more of the aggressive option if you're a Weaver, but that Lincoln's it's going to have to be forced out here just because you've got too many stuns, you've got too many single target lockdowns, and Weaver's going to be basically paper without that Lincoln's.
And speaking of aggression, oh, you have the Alchemist and Venomous, and Kronos is like, oh crap, once again they're missing. I'm going to stand right behind my tier 1 tower. He's trying to stand as far back as possible. If this Shadow Demon walks in range to get a disruption, that's one dead person. Actually, he's coming on in. He's got a lot of health on him, but this should be more, not enough to survive this onslaught. We'll be able to get a kill on Nyx. Nyx, however, he will not. But, with said, he's here. He's looking for the kills. He's starting to get a little bit of sacked up. He throws out the Soul Assumption, but then he's got nothing left. I would have liked if the Exorcism was popped, because then he would have picked up the kill himself, and he would have done a little bit more damage to his other heroes. But, yeah. He didn't. He died, and at least they got the return kill. Didn't go to anyone in particular. It did go to the creeps.
Yeah, unfortunately Earthshaker there in bottom lane, unable to trap in the Naga Siren actually. His Fisher was just on the wrong side slightly, but this isn't looking good for Sleeping Genesis. They've only gotten one kill to their name and then went to their creeps. Mid has been completely shut down. Cronus hasn't received anything in terms of farm, only single 21 last hits, Shadow Demon at 32. 48 is currently the highest on the side of Markyi stack, being played by Seb on the Clinks there.
And next, he almost found out Sentinel down bottom there. He went for the Disruptor. He had Dust as well if they wanted to. And up top lane, Clinks apparently still has a Timbersaw all by himself. Not sure why Timbersaw was low enough.
Yeah, he was about 20% health, and he decided to just go in there and get himself killed. I don't know what he was thinking. He really should have backed off.
Down bottom lane, a lot of damage coming out. Next going down to Sentinel. Sentinel burns underneath Shadow Demon's Purge and Disruption Soul Catcher. Now we got a little bit of poison being thrown out just to scout out where Earthshaker is. They know he's behind that tower. They really wanted to. I reckon they could just go underneath that tower and pick him off quite easily.
Yeah, the thing is, if he gets a good fissure off, he can basically block you into like a bunch of trees, and that tower can destroy you. That's a pretty dangerous spot to run into on a to jump on an Earthshaker.
And now we do have Cronus. He's came down bottom, so he's only looking at going for a Cheese. Cheese only got a drums, doesn't have full boots as of yet, which is I think a little bit strange. Not being able to finish short boots. Gonna pick up a TP, so if he needs to rotate anywhere for the Song of the Siren, it is there and available. In mid lane, they are now giving a little bit of farm over to their Venomancer, same as their Alchemist, but he's just gonna walk into the jungle. He's going somewhere. But one big thing that's actually we got a little bit of initiation down bottom. We got Soul Capture, lands onto Cronus. Cronus will take a lot of damage from these illusions coming on through, and now Cheese, he goes on in there and bursts. There goes Cronus to the damage. And Song of the Siren, it is used. They got the Sunshine and the native armor. Get rid of that Song of the Siren. It comes back out. It's onto two heroes as I hiccup. Bago, he will go down to the poison damage of Alchemist. Now they're going to chase down Weaver. Weaver's still got Soul Catcher up on. They disrupt him. They've got the Sentry Wall down. They throw out the dust. He's still underneath the Sentry Wall. They be able to pick him off. They cannot pick him off. But they do have an ensnare onto Sen. But where's the rest of his teammates? Nyx is still too far behind to help out there.
That Courier just standing there doing nothing. It's actually following Cheese. Oh, okay, he's ball cropping.
And there we go. Poison Nova's been thrown out. Sen and Vid are in a lot of trouble. Goldeneye, he's still alive. We do see the death coming out from that Visage. The Venomancer also goes down. Will Sentinel survive? He's got poison damages on him. He's got a tick of shadow poison. We do see Nagasaren go down, but it's this Weaver. He will survive. Should survive from this poison sting. He does have that ring of health keeping him topped up.
What an engagement there, and Markyi stack. They lost the Nagasaren, and they lost the Venomancer, but at the same time, them putting up this aggression, and it also means that Seb in this top lane is free farming all by himself, so he's almost got his Orchid. He's about 200-300 gold away. Once he has that, he's gonna start moving around. He's gonna start picking up these towers, which in fact he'll probably get this top tier 1 tower if it doesn't get clipped up. Look how much damage that does. Searing arrows and strafe.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah.
I mean, just so
especially
much
since they. Yeah, I believe it was just recently which they made a change to searing arrows to basically go through BKB, and any sort of magic community. So those searing arrows now, they just do ridiculous amounts. It's there, the physical now. So that mass armor that's on the side of Markyi stacks just gonna work wonders.
And next had his smoke popped as the Kronos walked past him. And now they're going back on a disruption counter on Visage. Visage, this should spell a disaster and death for Sam. He's gone. There's nothing he can do there. And this is why Nyx decided to pick up the Shadow Demon. Go for a new route of plays. Go for a new meta. And Shadow Demon, he used to be so popular a very long time ago in Dota with a mid role. He used to be a very strong mid hero. This is one of the reasons why he can just do so much damage with that Soul Catcher, and he's Purge, which does 200 damage, and now he's trapped in between the shoots. He needs to disrupt himself, he does, so he does avoid a little bit of damage, but he's still by himself. He throws out the Purge, it's not going to be nothing. Earthshaker will be picking up his kill speed for 415 gold.
Yeah, just got smacked in the face by that totem.
So he's going to be closer to his Arcane Boots now, he's going to be quite happy about that. He really needs the Arcane Boots, he's probably the biggest hero in the game that needs Arcane Boots the most.
Yeah, I do agree, and in the meantime, Cheese just finding some extra farm and doing a little bit of chip damage to this tier 1 tower in the bottom. Won't obviously get it there, but he's going to keep this aggression on, he's going to send these illusions to get the Riptide off, and just a little bit of scouting, actually. Cheese, I gotta say, his farm for 14 minutes, not so great. He's got he does have 2.1k on him. I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't bought anything with it. Maybe he's going for Radiance? Because the illusions do gain that.
It could be, I mean, you can pick up an early Radiance in 20 minutes, you can farm quite hard. He's already trying to get illusions into the jungle to start farming as much as he can, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he does want to pick up that Radiance for it. And Gorgona, he's going to get counter ward with his good old wards up on top of this cliff.
Yeah, I gotta say, so far the warding hasn't been bad from either side. It's been pretty good. Markyi stacks, they're a little bit sort of standard in their warding, whereas Sleeping Giants have been a little bit different. They've got this sentry just outside the forest, and they've also got this observer ward, which sees all of mid basically. So it's a good spot to put it there just to ensure that, well, I think it's a little bit to help Cronus there, but it's also to ensure they can see any sort of rotations and teleports that are coming in and out.
And now Vid, he's working towards his Bloodstone. It's going to be a reasonable timing for a Bloodstone, actually. I mean, he's going to be able to pick it up in 20 minutes the way he's... Oh, actually, no, he's not. He still needs to pick up the Perseverance. And actually, down in mid lane, we do have a stun coming out of Bargo. He's in a lot of negative armor. He gets hit by the Gale. He will fall. He throws out his Ekam Slam, trying to do whatever he can. It only lands onto one hero. Luckily, though, those wards, they count as a unit, so that helps do a little bit more damage. The Soul Assumption will help pick off that Earthshaker. Now the Poison Nova's been thrown out. We do have a lot of damage count. Nyx falls to the Timbersaw. We'll be able to get away from all this poison though. He will not. Venomancer will pick up that kill on them. So it's a 2-for-2 trade. Alchemist Shadow Demon for an Earthshaker Timbersaw.
Yeah, well, Timbersaw did a lot of damage there, and he stayed up quite a while despite all the magic damage. I think he needs to... he's going to get the Bloodstone first, which is not too surprising, but if he's able to get the pipe, or at the very least the cloak,
Radiant's
relatively
bottom
quickly as
tower
well.
is under
He can
attack.
negate a lot of this damage that Markyi Stacks is doing, and he can survive a lot longer and dish out a lot more damage in those fights.
And there was only 4 people. There was only 3 people in that fight for Markyi Stack then, and there was 4 for Sleeping Genesis then, and that just shows how much of Markyi Stack can hold their own, even with heroes down. I mean, Shadow Jim and Venomancer and Alchemist. Usually you wouldn't think they'd be able to take everyone by themselves. Silence comes down to Sentinel. He will fall down. So a very fast timing for a silence in about 15-minute marks. It's going to come to a great effect then. 16-minute mark. And Weaver, what can he do? He still does not have anything. He's died 4 times. He's got a ring of health. How's he going to get back into this game? Can he get back into this game is the question.
I think the biggest problem they had is the early laning phases. I don't think they really laned it correctly with going the 2-on-2. I think they should have just let Timbersaw by himself. He would have gotten level 6 much quicker, and they would have been much more safer in the bottom lane. Maybe even gotten a few kills with the Visage there. Certainly would have helped as Weaver survive a few more kills.
And in mid lane,
Looks like we might have a bit of engagement. No, just a little bit of throwing a few spells out and whatnot in the mid lane there.
just saying a good old hello to each other. Melgasaren's going to be rotating that bottom, trying to continue that farm up, and as you presumed, she is going for that raid, and she's picked up that second route, so she's got about 140 auto attack damage on top of her at the moment, trying to scare that Weaver off. If she really wanted to, I reckon she could probably pick off that Weaver, because Weaver's not having a fun game at all. He's only hitting for 78 to get a little bit of armor. We've got a little initiation coming on. Sen's going on and he throws out the Grave Chill. He's trying to chase down Jamie, but a nice gale comes out, slowing down the advancement of these heroes. And boom, we have a Shadow Demon wrapping on in, throwing out his Purge, and we'll be picking up a kill onto Visage. Actually, Timbersaw, he's dying somewhere. He's taking a lot of damage from the Skinks.
The power of I'm not even sure if all could.
Oh, in mid lane once again we have a lot of problems going on. Alchemist throws out his stun before he dies. Nice vision come from the Elshaker, blocking off the side, but it will be enough. Venomancer does pick up the Death Prophet in the end, and Visage for minutes do get a little bit of a stun, but Nix, and King of the Gorgonite is still relatively safe.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yep, I gotta say, Markyi Stack doing really well, and Seb to Weaver, he dead.
Binks isn't just gonna let him
Another life for the King Mage.
No, and he shouldn't. I mean, they've done so well to shut down this Weaver, and that is
Radiant's
very
middle
important.
tower is under
Weaver
attack.
was sort of their hope for the late game, as well as maybe the
Radiant's
Timbersaw,
middle
just because
tower
they get
has
tanky on it and
fallen.
whatnot, and then
Radiant's bottom tower
they
is under
survived for such a long
attack.
time, they deal so much damage, but it's just not happening in this game. They're not having a good... basically, the laning really just didn't work out for them, and now it's showing how Markyi are absolutely abusing that fact in the mid game.
There we go. Radiance is now picked up.
Radiant's
Bottle's given
bottom
back to
tower
the
is
courier,
under
so the
attack.
courier's happily gonna bottle that up for Cheese might rotate top and actually find a regen if he
Radiant's
gets no
bottom
time,
tower
but
has
he's just gonna go to
fallen.
middle and continue farming away. He's got no cares in the world at the moment.
What Nagasaki could do now is, because those illusions have the Radiance brand, just send those illusions in. You can even send them to jungle camps to get farm from there. Get a little bit of extra gold. Won't get the experience because of the range, but once she gets that extra gold coming in, she can pick up some of her next bigger items, such as maybe she'll go for the Diffusal or the Mantle, or
Radiant's
who knows.
middle
Just,
tower is under
yeah,
attack.
carry Nagasaki, and she'll surprise us wherever she goes.
And this negative armor's now starting to stack up Roshan. It's -9. He's just gonna fall ridiculously fast right here. And nothing Sleeping Genesis can do about this. They don't have any vision of Roshan. They've got a little bit of vision up top, but top is not where Markyi Stack will be coming from. They'll be coming through this bottom river. It's where they need some vision. There's been a sentry ward placed down by, I'm going to be presuming, Jamie earlier on, because he does have one sentry ward left in his inventory, so they are trying to remove as much vision from Sleeping Genesis' favour, and the more vision you can remove, the more your team can run around. Sentinel, he's getting a little bit aggressive there. If he gets too aggressive, he'll just get picked off by the entire lineup here. And we got a Stumping channel. He blinks on in with a blink tag I didn't even know he had. Fisher will split up the team. Jamie's in a lot of trouble. He throws down his negative armor. Nice disruption, trying to hold him in. They're trying to decide where they're going to engage or not. Where's the mechanism? Mechanism is not needed here. Echo Slam onto 3 heroes. Takes out the Nagasaki, but the entire side of Sleeping Genesis pays for it. And that is a 5-for-1 trade in favor of Markyi Stack.
they'll get this tier 2 tower as well. And they can continue just doing some cheap damage onto this tier 3 if they really wanted to. Seb, he's not only about his strafe, he just popped in there, but he's still got that Aegis, he's still got that Orchid up, and yeah, they're just going to continue in, which is what they exactly should be doing.
He's just going to A-click one of his allies to get the tower off him and just continue it down. He picks up a creep for that health and extra damage, so now he's hitting for 220 odd damage. There goes the tier 3. The entire side of Sleeping Genesis is respawning now. They don't have an Echo, so they do not have an Exorcism. They are missing a lot of their big ultimates, and now Visage, he's trying to be on the run. He's got his familiars. I don't know where they are, but he's got familiar summons somewhere. Yeah, here they are. They're running and trying to force Markyi off the line. Instead, the Clinks is happy enough to eat them for a breakfast. And now they're just going to retreat. They grab a tier 3, they grab a Rax, and now let's get the hell out of there and continue farming.
Those familiars are so weak. Basically, Seb on the Clinks there, he was just one-shotting him, one searing arrow, and that was enough to bring him down. He's actually picked up something, I believe, just now, since I think it's his MKB. Yeah, it is his MKB. So this Clinks is going to be doing insane amounts of damage, especially once he eats a creep to get the extra damage from its health pool, and the strafe as well is going to it's just insane damage. I don't know how they're going to stop this Clinks. He doesn't have anything defensive. He's still got the Aegis, which is obviously lovely, but I think he should move towards the BKB next just to ensure that there's no way he can die.
Thanks, Flies, for just dying on me there. Anyway, look at this Weaver. He's got Boots, Ring of Health. Or Weaver. I think this is the poorest Weaver I've ever seen in any game.
Yeah, just look at the net worth. There's not a single hero that is below Sleeping Genesis here on the side of Markyi stacks. In fact, Weaver is the third lowest. So Death Prophet and Timbersaw are doing better than the Weaver. It's not really where you want to be. And get picked off here again.
And Clinks is going to walk in underneath the tower, silence Sentinel up, 4 auto attacks, and he is dead. Didn't get one bash, but he didn't need it. Or one mini stone.
Radiant's top tower is under
I don't think it
attack.
does actually, mini bash, okay.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Apparently it does.
You didn't know about the
Does it actually still cancel though?
Radiant's top
cancel?
tower is under attack.
Like, so, for example, channeling and stuff like that.
Yeah, it bashes them
Like,
out.
what's the actual duration on?
I think it's about a 0.2 second on a mini bash, so it's enough to be a pain in the ass if you get hit with it. Anyway, Clinks is going to walk up and get the fissure, get silence, but he's got the Aegis. Gorgonite, he'll walk in, pour through his poison over, he'll walk out, he's not going to die, but we will see him get down. Shadow Demon's ripping through his heroes. In the backgrounds, we have Jamie, he's trying to fight up for whatever he can. The Echo Slam is thrown out, but it only lands on one hero. And now Bargo is trying to get away, he gets the Echo Slam. Will the Radiance Burn be enough? It is not going to be enough. She pops the some of the siren. She wants Spider, but instead she's just holding their entire team back while they get the Rax. And that's a very good use of the Guardian Siren's ultimate. Next is going to be looking at Sentinel. He still has the Soul Catcher applied to him, and the GG is called. Markyi's stack will be taking their game, and I think they're going to be. I think they've secured their upper bracket position with this win.
Victory.
I think it was even before this when they secured it. There's something like 6-0 or something. Now 7-0 maybe? Oh, maybe they have one more game, but yeah, there's something like that.
I don't really decide. It does say 4, but knowing Mitchell's, he never updates.
Hasn't been updated.
I know.
Well, this has been Defense of the Australians Summer 2014. Thank you guys very much for watching. I've been Zola, I've been joined by Yoshi. A big thank you to our sponsors, Weta, for sponsoring the tournament. If you'd like to follow me, you can do so by going to twitch.tv/Zolarif or at ZolarifDota on Twitter. And you can follow Yoshi at youtube.com/Yoshi or at Yoshi on Twitter. Thank you guys very much for watching. We have a lot more action coming up. We've got games basically up until 10 PM tonight, so please stay tuned, and yeah, we'll see you guys in just a few moments.